Welcome to part two of high frequency versus low frequency. Well, we're talking about the differences between these two frequencies and how people embody this and how you embody this. So, another thing that you can see to spot a high frequency person is that you will find them consuming positive content most of the time. This is a person who realizes on some level that what they're consuming all day, their mental diet, what they're eating mentally every day and emotionally every day in terms of content online, all of that stuff, you'll find that this high frequency person is consuming positive content most of the time. This is a person who consciously or unconsciously chooses to watch things or listen to things that uplift them or enlighten them in some way. They may listen to channelings or all kinds of things. There's so much that I don't want to go into like naming, because there can be a long list and there's a lot of variety within that list, but basically you get my point. And they're mostly far away from news. They have no interest in news and they're consciously choosing not to engage in news. And that is a very smart choice, because as the great author Neville Goddard said, well, I can't quote him, but I'll basically give you a gist of what he said is, what you imagine becomes your reality, and your imagination is not just your little daydreaming visualization. Your imagination is what you do inside your head all day, every day. Not just before you sleep, but all day, every day, your inner talk, everything you consume. And he specifically talked about news as well, that when you watch the news and when you watch stuff that is just off-putting, is just making you think all the negative things in the world, or all the things that make you feel everything that is wrong with the world, all those things are something you want to avoid if you're going for the high frequency. So a high frequency person, you'll see them being very choosy in what they watch. They're not watching just anything. They're not watching 100 opinions about one thing. Apart from the good stuff, apart from positive stuff, apart from things that uplift you, things that enlighten you about how to have a better life. That is what is important. It's not important what's happening in the news, right? It's really not relevant to you. And if you give that your energy and your focus, you're giving the unimportant things your focus. You're giving focus and energy to the things that you do not want to multiply. So I feel like that's a very important distinction. So be really aware and choosy in what you're consuming, because slowly, as you're consistent, you start becoming that and you start behaving that way. So you either become a very doubtful, low frequency, unfaithful, sad person, or you become a person who has access to higher frequencies, who has access to opportunities, to miracles and stuff like that. Because ultimately, you are the magnet, and reality is a mirror, and whoever you are is going to be reflected in your reality. So if you want to be consistent in something, be consistent in consuming content that makes you feel good, you know?